seven seas. Wanna be free, unveil some mystery. Ancient times have passed me by, their rules remain. Hold my eyes under the open skies, but here life guides me to my destination. Sail set high, I passed the heat. Easter and feast, they stood so silently. Faith in pools under the angel falls.
Hey everyone, if you're new to my channel, my name's Thomas Dawson and I'm here on Vancouver Island, and this is actually the same day as I went to, if you watched the video called the mythical Mr. Bubble Falls. This is the continuation of a search in a different area. This is actually a totally different creek that I'm exploring, and I've never been to this spot before. I've never explored this creek, and you can probably hear it down there. You can't really see it too well, so I'm not going to bother pointing the camera. But basically I'm trying to make my way down through this. From here it looks like it gets really steep by that tree in the middle down there, so that might be as far as I get here, but I think there might be hopefully something promising, because once again, this has been quite a downgrade, and so somewhere between here and a little further up, about a half a kilometer up, there's got to be some drops. Just show you this neat tree here. It's kind of cool. I have a lot of these trees that turn into two trees like that on Vancouver Island. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can make my way down there, see how far I get, and if I make it down to the river level, I'll pick back up and we'll continue on with the adventure. Okay, I made it down. That's where I just came down, right there, that embankment. Definitely a few muddy spots. At one point I went for a little bit of a slide, but it was a nice smooth slide, just like sliding into home base. The tricky thing about going exploring, going down cliffs like that, is you have to be really sure that you can get back up them, because sometimes you can kind of, you know, like I said, just slide down for a little bit, but then you have to make sure you have things to hold on to on the way back. Otherwise you have to find a different way out. So anyway, I'll show you the river, both sides here. Nothing too exciting there. And then this way here, so nothing too exciting at this spot. Just around the corner I can see a little cascade, but it's nothing exciting. So I'm going to see if I can make my way up one side of the river. I think at the moment I'm going to have to stick on this side to the left because it's a little too deep to cross here, but I'll just do a little bit of exploring, and if I see anything interesting, as always, I will tune back in and show you what I found. So this is just about 50 feet up from where I actually started once the view is less obstructed. This is not a bad scene right here. So I will endeavor to keep on going, but I'll keep this little scene in mind. If nothing else, this will be a nice little memory of this spot, but hoping for more a little further up. Looks like it's going to be a little tricky to make my way up the creek, but we'll keep trying. So I have in fact come across my first waterfall, but as is often the case on these creeks and these wild areas, I'll show you in a second, there's a little problem there. Let me show you. Okay, so as I was saying, that little problem is log jams. Now, if it wasn't for that log jam, I maybe could have got an okay shot here, because I really like these. If I could have used this in the foreground, I really like the jaggedness and angle of these rocks. And all along the side there is this beautiful, smooth, contoured rocks. And but again, that's if that log jam wasn't there, and it is. So I will keep moving on, but what I actually like more, just walk along the creek here. Some of these smaller rapids are quite nice. So on the way back, I might see if I can get if I can't find something a little further upstream, I might see if I can get a couple okay shots of these little rapids. It looks like it's going to be really tricky to get further because, as you can see, this is just super thick undergrowth and forest. It's just everywhere. It's relentless. Getting through that kind of stuff is so time consuming that it's not even funny. So I think, yeah, and that's too deep through there, and it looks like it'd be really hard to get through that log jam. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to check it out over there to see how deep it is, but I'm either going to have to cross, hope I can get over there, and just get up there a little bit and see if I can get a glimpse of what's further down. If there's nothing, that might be my turnaround spot, because this is just really slow going. My other option would be up and around there, but that looks really difficult as well. And I've been encountering a whole bunch of fallen trees and logs and trying to get over all that stuff, and there's rotted old fallen trees, and you have to be so careful with your footing, especially when you're a foolish person like me and you're doing this kind of stuff on your own. You just have to be extra careful. So anyway, we'll see what comes next. I'll tune back in it a little bit, one way or another. So before I make the attempt to go further upstream, I thought that I'd give a shot at a photo here. And basically what I'm trying to do is trying to maximize the nicest spots in the scene, which would be these rocks, this little cascade here, those rocks, another little tiny cascade would be the secondary, while minimizing the kind of ugly part of the scene, which would be the log jam by the waterfall. Now, I can't say that I'm super enthused about the shot, but it might be something that's better than nothing. Now, one thing I noticed when I was coming down here is, as I'm sure a lot of you know, Vancouver Island is heavily logged by the logging companies, but there's still, that's a fairly nice sized tree right there actually, and I also noticed when I first started trying to attempt my way down here, there's a pretty nice tree again down by river level, which is, I guess, pretty hard for them to log and they're not supposed to. But yeah, I don't know about this getting upstream. It'll be really hard. I might try one attempt, and if I can't do it, I don't have a lot of light left. I've got still 3.5 hours, but an hour that's going to be getting back to my vehicle from here. So let's continue on and see what happens. So 20 minutes later, this is as far as I've gotten. Just halfway to the waterfall from where I was back there. Yeah, it's been a real nightmare getting through this thick brush. Very beautiful though. I love those ferns growing out of the rocks. If that log jam wasn't there, probably be a very decent shot, but again it is. So I'm going to give one last shot of shooting through there because this water's way too deep now. So I'll give that a try. And if I can't see anything interesting around the corner, that's where I'm gonna have to pack it in and unfortunately find my way back through all this too. Sometimes I'll try to find a new route back to where I've come from, but I have a feeling that that's not the best option in this case. But anyhow, let's give it one last try. This is it. I'll be honest with you, that was not fun. And there's just more big snag over there as well, logs. I can't hear anything at all that sounds like there could be a waterfall further up. So this could be as far as I go. It's just too hard to get through all this stuff. And yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to go all the way back from where I came. Could be the end of the road. So I'm gonna just see if I can get to that corner spot over there, just to get a last glimpse around that corner, just to satisfy myself that there isn't anything further up there. And at that point I'll turn around and head back, and I'll do an official sign off after I've gotten out of all this mess. Well, I had a bad case of what's around the corner-itis, so I kept going. Again, it wasn't fun. Did I find something? Well, obviously you can hear something behind the camera over there, so I'll show you. Unfortunately, same problem with the other waterfall, a big snarly log jam. And the log jam even just continues up around the corner. This would have been actually a really neat shot if it wasn't for the log jam, but again, that's the way it is, because there's a second cascade just around the corner up there. Disappointing, but that's the way the game goes, right? A really neat little lagoon down here, couple cascades, remnants of an old pretty big tree. That's a big cliff there. That's just a mess of thick brush. So at this point, I don't even think I'll bother taking a photo of that. I'll just do the video. I'm going to turn around because my face is probably all dirty or something. Oh, and I got a good soaker back there too. Went about 2 feet into the water with one of my feet. But anyhow, no big deal. The water kind of warms up. You don't really notice it after a while. So I'm going to unfortunately start heading back. And I have to be mindful of the light. I have a headlamp, of course, but the last thing I want to be doing is trying to get through all this stuff in the dark or dusk, so I have to head back, give you one last look at this fairly nice waterfall that could have been a contender, but I guess all I can say is, you know, sometimes you enjoy the thrill of victory. Today is more the agony of defeat, but you have to give it a try. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I guess I might as well just sign off now, because by the time I make my way out here through all that thick brush, I'm going to be probably grumpy and miserable, and so I better sign off now while I'm in a semi-pleasant mood. So, Thomas Dawson on Vancouver Island, and almost not quite, but thanks for watching. If you enjoy these kind of videos where you're seeing places that you will never ever see otherwise, except for a silly person like me doing this kind of stuff, please show appreciation by clicking subscribe and like, and I'll catch up with you after this. I think is going to do an easier place. So bye for now. Thanks again.
On the way back, I actually made better time than I expected, and so I did in fact have time to stop and take a few photos at that section of the river that I originally talked about earlier on in the video. So what you'll see next are 5 photos in the sequence that I took them. When it comes to this first shot, I actually like the overall feel of it, and I really like the layered rock over on the right. However, what I wanted to do was get more of that cascade into the foreground, but it simply wasn't possible because I just couldn't get over more to the left. With that in mind, I find that the scene is a little bit imbalanced, and there isn't any really leading lines to take you into that cascade further up into the scene. Because of this, it's not the type of photo I'd probably want to show on Facebook, but it does make for a nice shot and a nice memory of my outing on this particular day. About all I can say about the vertical composition is ditto. There's too many imbalances in the photo for my liking, but again, overall it's kind of a nice scene, and it does make a nice memory of the adventure. This, of course, is the last waterfall that I visited during the day, and if you look at the video, as compared to the photo, you'll notice that I did some cleanup in Photoshop just to make the scene look a little bit better. But again, the logjam kind of ruins the scene, but it is a nice memory of the adventure, and I'm glad I at least took a couple shots. Here's the first of 2 shots that I took on the way back. Although there weren't any waterfalls in this scene, it is by far my favorite spot to photograph during this particular outing. I think that the photo is very well balanced, and it really tells the story of a beautiful rugged river flowing through a thick and lush forest on Vancouver Island. This last photo is a slightly different composition and my favorite from the day. I just really like how it captures the ruggedness of this particular section of the creek, and I just like the flow of it. See you next time.